Most people say that plants need bright indirect light, and then you think, okay, I have in my house indirect light, but is it bright enough? I mean, if I have just a small window, is it bright enough? During the winter, when it's really cloudy all day long, is it bright enough? What if I have a curtain? Is it still bright enough? We're here to answer this question once and for all, because we are going to teach you how to measure light by using just your phone. If you're new here, my name is Larissa, and in this channel we try to make your life as a plant parent easier by explaining how plants work. So here's the thing about light. We as humans, we perceive light in a very different way that the plants perceive it, because we are adapted to really rely on our vision, so our eyes actually adapt to the light of the environment. You know, when you're in a really dark room and you go out to this bright outdoor space and your eyes kind of hurt a little until you eventually get used to it? What's happening is that your pupil is closing to let less light pass and allow you to see clearly. And the plants are the opposite of it. Plants are very fine-tuned to be very sensible to light because they depend on it to survive. So a plant can even shift the leaves like a tiny degree and increase light by a little bit, and it can have this kind of sensibility to know this very fine-tuned difference between one environment and the other. So it's really hard to say that a room is bright just by looking at it. What you need to do is to measure it. Many people have those professional photometers, but you can actually have that on your phone. There are several apps that offer this option, this function as photometers, and I'm gonna link down below to the one that I like the most because I tested several. And here's how it works. You're gonna turn it on and it will use your camera to measure the light. There are some numbers that are going to show up, and you can measure the light in foot candles or in lux. For this experiment, we're gonna use foot candles, and then you just point your phone in direction of the light and you're gonna see the numbers change. The brighter it is, the bigger the number. The darker it is, the lower the number, until you get to 0 when it's really dark. So let's measure some light and see how it works. Okay, so here's the situation we have today. Outside it's very cloudy, we have a very heavy snowstorm, so it's kind of dark in here, but at the same time it looks, you know, bright enough. It looks like these plants are getting bright indirect light, but are they? So we're gonna measure it. This is the brightest spot in this room, and we're gonna use our phone to measure it. So I'm getting 73, 74. I'm trying to get the highest number. That's how I do. I usually tilt my phone until I find the highest number. So we got to 79 there, so it's around 79. So this plant here right now is getting 79 foot candles. Is it enough? Okay, so now that we learned how to measure light, the question remains, like, how much light is bright enough? How many foot candles does your plant need in order to thrive? Well, there's a guy who really measured it and studied it. His name is Dru. He's a plant enthusiast, a plant expert from here in Toronto. He had a whole blog that he's documented his whole plant journey over the years, and he also wrote a book called The New Plant Parent. And in this book he says that the minimum amount of light that a plant needs in order, you know, to survive and maintain itself, it's 50 foot candles. Anything below 50 foot candles is too dark. After that, there is the low light interval. So when we say low light, we're actually talking about 50 foot candles until around 200 foot candles. This is the low light environment. The plants can survive here, but they will not grow. And between 200 foot candles and around 800, 1,000 foot candles is what we call the bright indirect light. After 1,000 foot candles, 2,000 foot candles, like 8 400,000 foot candles, this is direct sunlight. So most indoor plants don't really like to be in full sun, direct sunlight all day long. So if you're looking for a place, a space for your plant to thrive, you need something between 200 and 800,000 foot candles. So let's measure the light again, and you're gonna see how much of a difference it makes just 1 foot or 2 foot distance from a light source or from a window. Okay, so we have another situation here. Remember, it's a very dark day. In a sunny day, things will be brighter. Anyways, let's measure light in different places of this plant shelf. First, we have this plant that is really close to the window. So in my living room, this is the brightest spot, right? Like how much closer to the window can you get? So let's measure light in there. So in here we're getting 82, 90. Let me see, I think the best thing we got here was 96. So it's 96 at this spot right now at this time of day with this much cloudiness going on. So let's measure the spot in here. Like it doesn't look that much different, but let's see how much less brighter it is here. So I'm reading 32, 33. I think the best I got here was 37. So this plant right now is receiving 35, 37 tops foot candles, probably during the whole day. And is it bright enough? Not at all. Like I can tell because this plant already lost several leaves. Several of leaves in this plant got yellow and dropped off because light changed in the winter. In the summer, this is a different scenario and this plant was doing better. But right now, if I don't want the plant to decay even more, I need to even move it up in the shelf to get more light or to put some grow lights on top of it to supplement, because I know that anything less than 50 foot candles, the plant is gonna suffer. So that's how we measure it. So you can see that sometimes we think that the environment is really bright when in reality it's not that bright, especially when it's a very cloudy day like it is today. But be mindful that light changes. When you're measuring, you're gonna see that it changes just by the angle you tilt your phone in or out. If a cloud is passing by, if there is very dark, very cloudy and heavy day, it will be darker. Of course, in a sunny day, it will be brighter. It also changes during the year. Not only in the winter you have less hours of light, but the angle that the sun is hitting the surface of the earth changes in the city you're in during the winter, and so you have this light will be less intense. So the best thing here, more than trying to chase some specific number, I think the best thing to do is like watch your plant. If you know that your plant is doing really well, you have some of your plants that you know are doing great in the space there are, like measure the light in a sunny day or in a cloudy day and have that number in mind. Because if you need to move that plant, you have in mind, okay, so this plant was doing really well in 450 foot candles, so I'm going to try to find a place with that type of light. So we hope you learned a lot with this video, and if you did, click the like button. And that's all we want to say for today. If you like this video, you're also gonna like this one, in which I talk about the 5 easier plants to have you just starting your houseplant journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!